Yo, 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 Nothing's Normal Podcast. It's your host, Spinanks, back at you with another episode. Today's episode is powered by GBA. Y'all know how we coming. Shout out to Greenleaf. Shout out to Brunch and Bloom, man. This is why I met this young lady at, that was just, I think that was a week ago now, or maybe two.
Maybe almost two.
Almost 2 weeks ago, excuse me. My man Kurt, we good? All right, cool. We good. So, without further ado, who I got sitting to the left before I mispronounce your name? What we got going on? What's your name?
My name is Chez LadyRed.
Chez LadyRed. Oh, I came dressed for the part.
Hey.
Chez LadyRed. Red hoodie, red background, Valentine's Day. A lot going on with red. Okay, Chez LadyRed. Over here at Nothing's Normal, we got this policy where we don't like to start at page 50. We like to start at the beginning of the story to find out, how you got to where you got to. That's important over here. So with that being said, Chez LadyRed.
Chez LadyRed. You could call me Chez or you could call me LadyRed.
I like it, LadyRed.
I like that too.
Yeah, shout out that. What about Lady Blue though? No?
No, that's my favorite color though. That's another story.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Chez LadyRed, where you from?
I'm from Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford in the house.
Yes,
Big 203.
Hey. A60.
Oh, A60.
We like a good hour from them.
Yikes. I didn't even know Connecticut different area codes. Wow.
Yeah. I'm way deep in Connecticut from New York, but yeah. So Hartford, Connecticut. Albany Avenue.
Albany Ave. Okay. And how was it growing up in Hartford? I don't think I even know anybody from Hartford. I might know a few people who went to the university, but actually being from there, what was life like for you?
Well, life in Hartford is rough. It's pretty much rough for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's definitely, the hood, the urban area.
Sure.
So it's got pros and cons like everyone else in that area, but I'm proud to be from where I'm from. It built me. Absolutely. I came from a really amazing family. Although I grew up in the hood, I had a lot of structure in my life.
Sure.
And so I also had the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. Before we get it, how old are you?
27.
27, wow.
I just had a birthday
Youngin,
3 days ago.
Wow, 27. Okay, happy belated.
Thank you.
And how was it in Hartford? You spoke on your family. Family is important. How was your living situation as far as the household? Mommy, Poppy, TT?
I got a TT. No.
How we coming?
So I grew up in a big household. So I grew up with my grandparents who raised me.
Right.
My mother lived in the household. Her and my dad married young. They were divorced 20 years later. But long story short, I grew up with my grandparents and my mother and my father super active in my life. Mm-hmm. So I also grew up with my aunts and uncles as my brothers and sisters.
Right.
They were probably 15, 10 years older. Beautiful. Some a little older because my grandparents have older kids. Mm-hmm. But I come from a very musical family. Oh, nice. I grew up with lots of singing and producing. So my grandparents, which is the root of the tree, they actually are gospel singers. They traveled with like the Shirelles back in the 70s. Yeah, so back in that time, it was rough for like contracts and different things. So after their era, my mom and uncles and aunts actually had like a music group. My mom used to open up for Shaka Khan. Oh, wow. And it's just been real heavy in my family. My aunt actually had a record deal with RCA. Mm-hmm. Probably 30, 40 years ago. She had like one hit wonder single. Yeah. Don't judge me on that, Auntie. I don't mean it that way.
We love you, Auntie.
I love you, Auntie. Her name is Star. Shout out to Star. Shout out to my aunts and uncles and everybody. So I grew up with a lot of pressure, very young, right? Because we have a lot of talent, natural talent. Singing is the talent. Mm-hmm. A lot of producing. My uncles played piano, bass, self-taught, like Jimi Hendrix type stuff.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy.
It's dope, though. It's dope.
Was it pressure? Was music forced, or was it a choice, or was it passion? What was it? You come from a musical family, so did you feel like this was something you had to do just to uphold the family legacy?
There was a lot of pressure. I want to say I was probably 7. I was 5 when they realized like, oh, she has the gift, Mm-hmm. And out of all the other siblings, which were my mother and father's children, I was the only one who could sing.
Really?
Yeah. So I had super pressure. Holidays, they had like live bands set up in the living rooms and dining rooms. We had big parties all the time. And I did not like it, I'm be honest. Because I was young and I was kind of like, it never was fun for me, And so it did push me away from music when I kind of got into a place of evolving naturally into music.
Of course.
I used to be like, whatever, I don't really want to.
Yeah.
it was forced, and I would never do that, to like anyone, because it's like, let it be natural, encourage it if it's there. But I mean, it worked for Michael, it worked for a few other people, but for me, if they was gonna force it, it should have been forced a lot more. It was just enough to push me away. So by the time I got into like teenage years in life, I became a writer because I felt like I wanted to write naturally still. I think that comes hand in hand with a lot of singers. And so that was my focus for a few years until I got active singing.
I want to come back to Michael, a point that I want to make about Michael. But before we get there, what's your background? Latino, or negro? What's,
okay. What do you think I am?
I would say Afro-American and Puerto Rican.
I've heard like a lot of different stuff. Yeah. And I am African-American, Nubian queen.
Okay.
So I like to tell people though, like I literally am everything except for Puerto Rican because I don't have any Hispanic blood.
Oh no.
No, but I mean I get it. No, I get it all the time. Like, my mother is black and white, black and German, and then my father is black and Indian.
Oh, wow.
But in reality, they are primarily black families from root to bottom. So I just be like, we mixed. Yeah, we're African-American. But, as we all know, blacks come in all colors. We black, white, yellow, green, anything and everything. So that's kind of where my name folds from, being LadyRed, because I'm a red bone. Which is a light-skinned black woman,
Yeah. I don't know any Caucasian red bone.
No.
Nah, shout out to them, though. They call them, what are y'all? Man,
I don't know. We ain't going to use
it. Okay. That's dope. And as far as school, I like to get into, school. What was your music you said was your first passion? What kind of student was Chez LadyRed coming up in the school system?
I was a good student.
Yeah.
So I passed, I passed with good grades. Like, I wasn't an honor roll student by choice, because I was kind of in the middle again of so many different transitions in my life growing up and just finding myself.
Of course.
But I was a good student. By the time I started middle school, my family, my grandparents, we had moved to the suburbs. So I had a school bus. I had some white and Chinese friends I had never seen ever. So by the time I did middle school, high school, I was like in a better mental space with my education. I graduated high school, New Britain High School. I went to college. I got a bachelor's degree.
So
I'm very educated and a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
We gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I had a very strong grandmother, very strong role model.
You had mentioned Michael Jackson as far as being pushed more towards the music. And me personally, I want to get your opinion on this because I see this a lot of different ways. As phenomenal as Michael was musically, I mean, if you just pay attention to, the things that we see, it looked like he might have struggled mentally, like from going through, that sort of focus and that push to just be the best musically. It looked like by the time he got older, that's when he lived in his childhood, He came out, you had Never Never Land. I mean, the guy, he built the amusement park in his 20s. So, it's safe to say, I mean, how was that for you? Do you feel like that you went through things similar to that, like mental challenges, based upon being pushed so hard musically?
No, for me, I would say no, because I feel like they put enough pressure on me so that I knew who I was as a singer and as a writer and in my family, but it wasn't enough to keep me like in that push down ground place. So I didn't like get that type of push, which I've had friends in school that have with different things, piano, this, that. So I had the freedom to do as I wanted, but good. Thankfully, in my own sense, as different as that sounds, it wasn't like that type of pressure.
Right.
As far as Michael, I feel he definitely suffered, but he was one of the best and definitely the best and the greatest. I'm a Michael fan. I love him. I cried when he passed away, and I growing up on him, he wasn't even in my era. Just everyone growing up on him.
Yeah, he's the man. Michael's the man.
Yeah, I love you, Michael.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mike Jack. I think that level of focus, you gotta. To be as phenomenal as him, you got to spend a lifetime perfecting your craft, doing that. Yeah. With that being said, how were you said, because you said you fell out of music for a little while, when you realized this was something you was going to take as a career path and make this, this your thing? Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, when? What was that? Did you have a moment where you said, you know what, I'm going to pursue music and this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, so I had this moment, and I would say I was probably 18, 19.
Wow.
Yeah. I did a lot of living in my young lifetime. And so
What does living mean? You know, I think we all did a lot of living. We all breathing.
we all alive, right?
We not. Yeah, we still here. So you know, could you elaborate on some of these living experiences?
Yeah. So I went through a lot of top in life and a lot of bottom. So like I traveled to a lot of countries. I experienced like living a very luxurious life.
Of course.
And then also I experienced like losing those things. I experienced the way I grew up. I experienced just like two different types of worlds. But by the time I was like 19, 20, I had just lived a really good life, you know, and I had done things that a lot of people probably haven't done.
Oh, yeah. Talk heavy. I like it. Yeah. So, okay. 19, 20, you taking music serious. What kind of music do you put out? Would you consider yourself, what kind of artist? What genre?
So R&B for sure.
Ooh.
Like I'm an R&B singer,
Yeah.
songwriter. I do a little bit of like hip hop R&B too, but I am more of a definite R&B mid-tempo kind of SWV girl.
Ooh.
You know, that wave.
Can't believe.
You know that good.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you that. That goes into my next question. Some of your music influences, like who is like, oh, you know, you clean in the crib. This is what's on to the max. Yeah.
Well, so I listened to a lot of music that my mother would listen to in the past.
Me too.
Yeah, so it was like Sade. I still listen to Sade like as if I grew like up in her era.
She's 27, y'all. Keep that in mind. She said talking about Sade. Wow.
So Sade is really good. I love Keisha Cole too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I love Beyonce. I mean, not to sound, I'm very outspoken, but I love like old Beyonce.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
Yeah, when she was in the group. Destiny.
I mean, or like her first time being alone. Like now it's just a different feeling for me, which is still nice. But
matured, you know.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like Drake. I like even like mellow rap, you know, more like laid back rap.
Yeah. Do you have any projects out or?
I do. I just released a single called Cupid, which I wrote and produced.
Shout out to 112, man. They got the song Cupid. Did they inspire the song?
No, definitely no. I love them though.
Okay, yeah, you know.
So no. It's just the funny thing is I never mentioned the word Cupid. I wrote it, produced it, everything, and nothing in there speaks about Cupid. But I didn't title the song until it was done. And typically I would title it based on some kind of lyric, but it was just so raw. I just was like, it's just a love song.
You just loved it. Yeah.
So it's just gonna be Cupid.
Can we get the story behind Cupid?
You could.
Yeah.
You'll be like the first one to get it. I'm gonna get in so much trouble now.
Well, you know, put it on my bill, man. It's tax season. Write it off. Whatever it is, just tell them. Yeah.
You have to tap in and lyrically you'll hear it and you'll be like, whoa, it's a very deep song.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
So the story, like a little bit of lyric to the song, right? The verse is like, okay, baby, can I talk to you and ask you for a second of your time? I know it's been a while, but I want to share what's on my mind. I've been missing you, you know, so forth, you know?
Yeah, I get the feel.
Yeah, that's
He's
like
fucked up, basically.
It's a weird space, right?
Yeah.
But then the hook is like, it's something about the way you make me feel that feels so good and so hood, and I want more of it. So technically the real story, which I don't tell people because it's just complicated, but I'm going to just tell you because you're Sphinx.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I had a guy, I was feeling him, I had liked him, I was feeling him and stuff, but I never was intimate with him or like dated, like really got serious with him. But we had a friendship that we were like, I really like you and you really like me. Like we had a love almost.
Yeah.
But there was always like a respectful boundary where it just never took place.
Yeah.
And so long story short, I just wrote this like love song about him. And the second verse, I'm talking about praying for him, why you was sent in my life like this, da-da-da. It gets very deep. But then I say like, no matter what happens, like you'll always have a place in my heart. So it sounds like I've been with this person, but the reality is it's just a love story that never took place. But we have a love for each other as friends.
Definitely. That's scary. That's dope and that's scary at the same time. This might be.
I have a big brain, though.
Yeah, this might be a line straddler, but do you feel like it's safe to say, for the sake of the love you have, that it's best where it's at, or are you curious?
I was curious at a point, and then this person left the country.
Oh.
So I was curious, they was curious, but I was the one that wasn't moving forward because I didn't want to lose the friendship.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, and I knew them from like elementary, like a child. So this song was written in like, 20, 21.
Yeah.
And we kept in touch, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess up the friendship. And then so now it's like I would never ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like not fair because women are usually, let's talk about like friend zoning. Women are usually, have you ever been friend zoned by a man?
No.
Never.
I mean, I don't know. One time I thought I was and I had to ask people, but I had a friend. I don't know if this is friend zoning, but friend, straight up nice guy. I know he liked me, but he never like hit on me.
Yeah.
Or like tried me or flirted with me, not one word. So I was like, everybody would be like, oh, he really likes you. He cares about you. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's my friend. So I felt like he was friend zoning me, but I didn't really have an attraction towards him anyhow. So I don't know. Is that friend zoning?
Well, I think it could be intimidation. Some dudes, nowadays, man, it's a zoo out here, man. You got monkeys trying lions out here. It's ugly out here nowadays. There's really no boundaries. But, sometimes it could be a few different things. Intimidation. He could feel like he don't have a shot. And that's also a tactic, too. Like, act not interested until she shows some interest. It's a safety thing. There's a lot of different things that could be going on. But I can't really say that's necessarily friend zoning. But I feel like it's not fair that women, have
Friend
all the power in the
I know.
friend
I
zone.
friend zoned a lot.
Yeah.
And I never got friend zoned the way I friend zoned.
You think you'd be able to handle getting friend zoned? Or?
Not if I want him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, what?
Yeah, that's not fair.
I don't know if I can handle it. I might have to be like,
Yeah, you might
Women
get
are
a little
flirty.
aggressive.
We'll just be like extra flirty to be like, I don't want to be in a friend zone though.
Yo, Nothing's Normal podcast. It's your host, Spanks. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed when it comes to insurance? Let me introduce you to ZRM Brokerage, founded by Daniel Guiney. They're providing expert risk management services with neighborly care since 2017. Over here at ZRM Brokerage, they operate off morals, honesty, integrity, loyalty. Somebody that's gonna keep it 100 with you, not just look for the dollar, Now, they probably never taught you this in school, but life is all about resource. And Daniel Guiney, he's got a lot of that. He deals with top experts when it comes to insurance all over the globe. He's backed by an MBA from Iona University. He also has won the prestigious Millie Award from the Westchester Business Journal, y'all. Head over to www.westchesterhomeinsurance.com to get your free quote from ZRM Brokerage Insurance Company. Nothing's normal. In this industry, let's talk about one of the things, I'm not going to necessarily say tactics or strategies that women use to get ahead in the game. As far as, like I said, it's very not fair. When you really understand the power of women, we need to study y'all more. Y'all can really y'all are amazing. It's the cheat code.
Oh, thanks.
But when it comes to business, when you do business in a male-dominated industry, do you find out, like, a lot of times guys try to hit on you before they even find out, like, how talented you are?
I never have that issue, thank God.
Yeah.
I think most of the time, 99.9, they already know the talent perspective of it.
Yeah.
So it's real straightforward.
Yeah.
And then if there is any approach, it's usually like an after kind of thing.
It's always after. I told you, strategy.
So I don't know. I've seen a lot of women struggle with that, but for myself, I'm really outspoken. I have a publishing company.
Oh,
So
really?
like I have a business and
wow.
then another business outside of that.
Mhm.
So when I do approach people with music, I'm usually approaching them. Hey, my name is Chez LadyRed. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm about. What are we doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then if people are also like coming up to me or co-responding to that, it's just professional because they see how I'm addressing it and how I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people hit on me, but not where it's been a thing in my career. Like I think 90% of women go through that struggle.
Absolutely.
But there's probably a small percent that don't, that are more direct about things.
Yes.
I did have one time a person tell me, like at a very high elite level, like, oh, we want to work with you. We had a record deal on the table. We had the whole shebang. And then there was, buts,
Yeah.
There was definitely buts, and they were definitely a major label. We're
to the
not name
honeycomb
dropping.
Come to the honeycomb hideout and
Basically.
sign the contract. Yeah.
And so it was like, yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Because
no.
I've reached many heights, you know.
Yeah. That's actually, let me shake your hand. I didn't even shake your hand in the beginning.
Aw.
That's honorable because, like you said, sometimes a lot of us, we fall in the boat of being slaves to opportunity, and we feel like we gotta. I don't know. I guess I'm not gonna like lower the moral bar to get ahead because we feel like that's all we got. So the fact that you standing tall on what you want to do, you in control, and yeah, that's dope. That's dope. You standing up for that. We met at a brunch in Bloom. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to
Shout out to
Jalen.
Lish too.
Shout
That's
out
my
to
girl.
Lish 2
That was
times.
her brunch.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you, what's your affiliation to the brand? Who's +1 were you at that event?
Lish 2 times.
Shout
No.
out to Lish. Shout out to Lish.
I
man,
was
she's
just
dope.
there, networking, supporting her.
Right.
Yeah.
When you speak about your businesses, let's talk about it. Outside of music, what are some things that you into?
So I'm a full-time real estate investor.
Oh, wow.
So I like
Jesus
fix and
Christ.
flip houses.
Yeah.
I have a couple rental properties. So I own property that I hold, and then I
Yeah.
fix and flip a few a year, probably 3 to 4. I have a program where I work with anyone, not necessarily youth, but like anyone who's credentialed to be a part of it,
Yeah.
and just getting investors in one room. I don't normally talk about that in music too much because
Yeah.
it can get confusing. At one point
sure.
I did, and I had like people like, oh my God, the real estate investor / singer.
Yeah,
But no, I work very hard.
That's crazy.
And then my publishing, of course, because I want to own my music. I'm
Right.
independent.
Oh,
and,
wow. I was going to ask you, what's your situation? So you said you have a single out. So are you just now starting to kick off your music career and take it 100% serious?
I am. So with the publishing company, I've had about 10 years. I did write some major records for some major labels and established myself as a household name in the business with a lot of people, like major mainstream people. Grammy award winning, not nominated, producers,
Yeah.
artists,
Yeah.
labels. You know what I mean?
You one of those.
I'm one of those, but
Yeah.
I'm just out to shine and get mine,
Yeah. I was going to ask you, talk about being behind the scenes versus being on the scene and which process you enjoy more.
Well, it definitely is different. I mean, behind the scenes, you at your own pace. You are, like, you're working, so it's like a different type of flow, you know? There's no limelight on me. There's not as much pressure on me. I'm just doing, like, writing projects, credentialing. I'm still enjoying the limelight. I'm meeting stars. I'm partying with stars. So I'm living my best life, right?
Yeah.
But as an artist, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to step outside and you have to put on your hat and you have to become the person that, that you're not every moment of your life.
Right.
And it could be frustrating sometimes.
Yes. To touch on that, I could agree. I'm somebody, me personally, I like to disengage from the world sometimes and do my own thing. And in this industry, we constantly engaging. Somebody's always texting us, calling us on Instagram, this, that, and the third, this event, that event. It can be exhausting. Do you go through that?
I do. It could be very exhausting. And I'm the same way. I'm like I want to be home, just kind of kick up my feet. I don't have too much company or traffic through my space.
Oh, my
I'm a big
God.
energy person.
Yeah,
So
big time. Oh, yeah.
So no, I mean, and then it's just like when you're in the limelight and you are the star and you're the superstar, you got to come out and you got to knock them out. There's a bunch of stars, but not everybody is a superstar. I'm a superstar.
Yeah, okay.
So you got to
Big
come
Lady
out.
Red.
Big
Yeah.
Lady Red, not the little
Yeah,
one.
not at all.
You got to really come out and you got to, wear that hat and put that baton on and yeah, it could be a lot. It is a lot.
Talk about your writing process. What gets your creative cylinders firing? Are you more of a mood? I like to ask a lot of the artists this. Is it mood-based writing? Is it just, business as always? You just go in there and knock out a song? Do you just go in the studio and have them punch in, every couple bars? Or, what really gets you going?
So me as a writer, I write to release my emotions. And so all the songs that I write and put out for myself are about me, experiences that I've had, or a way that I'm trying to express how I'm feeling or trying to release stress. And I'm like, I never write to a beat. I just kind of write to a melody in my mind. So by the time I start singing a cappella, you can hear the beat.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll go back and like work with my producers to create a beat around it. I am strategic when it comes to that because I write better freely because I'm expressing myself when I write.
Absolutely.
But once I get that beat, it's all good. It just makes it even bigger and better for me.
Yeah.
In the studio, I'm a pretty fast forward, not like a line by line person. I'm very, very professional. I've worked with Edwin Ramos. He's my mentor. He's also a Grammy winner. Probably got like 7 or 8 Grammys by now.
Yeah, something like that. Shout out to Big Ramos.
Yeah, so I can't. It's rough for me working with a lot or anyone. I've never actually worked outside of him, but I'm working on that too. But that's my guy, you know. And so I've been trained to work a certain way. And no, I get in the studio, I just dim the lights, and I kind of knock things out right away and have my little tips and tricks of, you know, how I do that. One on, one off, this and that.
Yeah, I never heard that before.
Yeah,
that's important.
It is.
Are you a big advocate of people in the studio, or do you like a very surreal type vibe?
Oh my God, I like it so surreal. Like I don't like anyone in my space, in my set, you know. I went to an event recently. It was a session. A bunch of people in there smoking, chilling, having fun. Couple singers, couple rappers. And so when it was my set, because it was a mixed record, you know, I went in the studio and they were just kind of like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, everybody off my set.
Be out, time to go.
So it wasn't a rude thing. I loved them. But they were kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Like they never seen that. But it's like, I need to focus. I don't care if it's 5 lines. Like I need to get in there. I'm going to double it. I'm going to harmonize it because that's how professional people work.
Definitely.
You know? And, you know, you live and you learn levels. But
for sure,
I like to be in my quiet space.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to us about some of the people you work with that we may know or that we may not know, and then talk to us about, you know, who you would like to work with in the future.
Yeah. So I mentioned my producer,
Ramos.
Ed Ramos. Shout out. Yep. I worked with a lot of people, like a lot of people. I worked with Damon Marley for a while, and like his boy band and stuff like that. I worked at Universal. They had an artist named Nicolette. I wrote a song for her that was placed on her record.
Shout out to that.
I worked with a lot of people doing writing. As far as like collabs, once I started creating my project, which is called I See You.
I see you, like the letters or like the
No,
words?
like I see you, S-E-E, like see you.
Yeah, okay, so we're not in critical, you know.
No, we just seeing you and you seeing me.
Yeah, absolutely, 2020.
Yeah, so when I made that project, it was pretty dope. I didn't collab with anyone. I had options to, like some major artists, some non-major artists, but I just felt like I needed like a full introduction of myself.
Okay, yeah.
It's more of an EP.
That's smart. Yeah, that's genius.
Yeah, so I do plan on working with some people actually in the near future.
You got any dream collabs? Like, you know, I'd love to get on the record with.
I do. I have like dream collabs, so I have a few. I would really like to do a record with Doja Cat. I like Doja. I know people be confused about Doja.
Shout out, you know, it's
but
a lot of.
I like her swag and certain. Not that I see what's going on. That part I wouldn't even affiliate with. But as far as like the old Doja, like
big Doja.
Yeah, you know, she was dope. You know, and I just think musically she's still dope. I don't know what's going on in the background, but I think we could do a good record.
That's cool.
I like to do something with Nicki.
Yeah, okay.
That would be dope.
Yeah, Nicki, that's fire.
But you know what?
Ladies, why can't y'all get along, man?
But see, this is the other thing I was going to say. I would love to do something with Cardi, too.
As you should.
Like, it's no one or the other for me,
nah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then outside of them, like, I mean, I would want to collab with some different type people. Like, I really, more than anybody, would like to do a song with Billy Joel.
Ooh. You trying
like
to be a legend.
I'm just saying, like, that's my guy, you know?
To perform at the Super Bowl, halftime.
All that great stuff. No, but for real, like, I can see myself doing some nice mid-tempo stuff with him. He was kind of in the middle with a different mid-tempo, slow, little bit of rock, pop.
Yeah, you don't hear that too often. I was big on, like, the MTV and BET. I ain't just watch BET. I used to watch the MTV TRL and all that, so I know about all of them type of bands and them type of people. So
it's a nice, different feeling.
Yeah, it's dope. Talk to us about performing. Have you ever performed before?
I have, but not since I've been on my new wave of what's happening now, which is happening fast and really, really good. I've been like doing a lot. I just did Shade 45.
Yeah, we saw you. We saw you, baby.
Great Rizzy. It was really, really good.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I had a great response from like fans, radio, and a lot of import. So that was really good. But yeah, so I haven't performed yet. I've been really busy just kind of pushing the single, you know? I have a part 2 of the single where it's going to be a visual of what was on the radio. Yeah. It came out really super dope. So I'm looking forward to releasing that in time for Valentine's Day for the record Cupid.
Yeah.
I have like a second video to Cupid, which is like 2 or 3 different compilations. So that'll be really fun.
I'm interested to see the Cupid, you know, the guy you got in the video playing Cupid. Is it one of them type of situations? I'm interested to see, you know.
That's funny too, right there.
Yeah, you already know.
So, okay, because now you're getting like all my dirty laundry right now.
Hey, somebody got to wash it.
Oh, man. So shout out to the guy in Cupid, man. Shout out to Sin.
Shout out to Sin, man. Where's Sin? Where you from, Sin? Where you from?
That's a funny story.
Where you from? Bridgeport?
No, he's from Hartford, Connecticut.
From Hartford, big Hartford.
You know, big Hartford, big CT, homicide. No.
Yeah, ooh. Yikes.
Okay, right. So hold up. The guy in the video, that's Sin.
Yeah.
So
Sin, wow, I'm gonna pray for you.
No. Oh my God. So the story behind Sin, right?
What's
Again,
up?
I'm a businesswoman. I produce all my music videos. I've done a few.
Oh, wow.
Which I can't wait for them to come out and show everyone. But I do like the production on them visually. Like,
Jesse Spielberg. Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I told on the Shade 45, I was like, I got to learn how to step back a little.
Mm-hmm.
I paid the music videographer, obviously, a good amount of money. He did a lot of Chris Brown's work. He does a lot of major work. And he did set the concept, but I was like, but can we do this? Can I turn here?
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, Chess.
I know what I'm doing.
Like,
baby.
this is what I do, you
Yeah.
know? But so anyhow, the guy in the video is my brother, like my mother and father's child. Because I have hired a model who was supposed to come in. We shot it in Hartford, Connecticut. We had 2 different locations in the video. He never made it in, and then when he came in late, he had a really bad tux. He was supposed to be in a tux, you know, he got paid, everybody, you know, it don't always work out. So my brother's a G. I called
You know
him
what
up.
to
I
do.
said, pull up with that Burberry, whatever you
Yeah.
got in the closet.
Yeah.
And
Old
so
boy
he-
pulled up with the prom suit on.
No.
we
He
ain't doing
came
that.
through doing his regular.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he was like, no, I don't want to be the guy in the video. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just sit in this. I had just had him kind of sitting on the corner of the bed. And I smacked him with a teddy bear.
Which is routine. I'm
But
sure
it
that wasn't
looked
the
like,
first time.
you know, we together,
Bro,
cute.
yeah.
But, you know, dirty laundry. That's my
Yeah.
brother. Shout out to you, baby.
Yeah. Shout out to bro, man. Wow. Talk to us about the project. I See You. What inspired the project? Is it a theme-based project? Are you somebody I'm gonna title it based upon, you know, give you a description of what you're gonna be listening to?
I am that type of writer and artist, but this specific project was not necessarily that way. It was just more of a little bit of everything in me, right?
Yeah.
So there's some R&B ballads, there's some hip hop kind of songs, some Mary J type of
Shout out to
vibe.
her. Yeah.
Then there's also like some real punk rocky kind of like pop
Yeah.
music,
Yeah,
you
Blink
know?
182, like, you know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's
I might
kind of
be,
like,
I've got 27. I don't know if you know about
I was about to say, I
Blink.
don't even know who that is,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's spunky.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Justin
like,
Bieber-ish?
I can't, honestly, it's so like, I'm not even playing. It's so Chez LadyRed-ish, but it's
Chez
pop.
LadyRed,
It's like
yeah.
rock.
But that's tough. I love pop. Listen, man. I like all
I mean,
kind
I
of
could
music.
sing a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's roll
So
it out.
it's like a little bit of the pop one, right?
I got you.
Okay, so it goes, you got me on fire the way you stare in my eyes. You got me on fire with all this thug in your life. I'm like, fuck Bonnie and Clyde, it's all about you and me. But anything you ask of me, consider it done, love. All I ask is that you do as I please, yeah. To do as I please is to fulfill my fantasies, yeah.
You
Baby,
can really sing.
you know I'm all for you.
Ooh.
Little bit.
She can really sing.
Oh, I can sing,
You don't
sing.
need
Don't
no
play
double.
with it.
Yeah, nah, you sing, and that gave me like I got a little sister. She was heavy on the Disney movie. That gave me real 3LW.
Disney.
Real that I could
Yeah.
see her like That's
I
So
did love
Raven or something
3LW
like
though,
that.
and
Yeah,
Raven.
that give me that vibe. Wow. A little bit of
Yeah. I'm on that though. Like I really love
Yeah,
like
send us
everything.
the Brazen Fox or something, man. See what they do with it. Yeah, that was phenomenal. That was
You guys
dope.
liked it?
I loved it because you could really sing. I was a little nervous sometimes. You get to just put somebody on the spot like that, but now you got some lungs.
That was my pop like
Yeah.
rock. Dun,
I
dun,
liked
dun,
it.
dun.
Yeah.
The beat is real like Rocky too.
I need to bring that to my job.
For
I just beating on the guitar. That's like I'm going camping. Banjos and
It's dope. Yeah, you got that
porky
like.
beans and franks, and we just doing that. Yeah, that was hard. That was
I'll
tough.
take
Let's shake
it, I'll
your hand
take
again,
it.
sweetheart.
High five, high
Yeah,
five.
high five. I'm really high too, so that's a double high five. That's really a high 10.
So you liked it?
I loved it.
You gave it a 10?
I gave it a 10.
Yay!
Yeah, absolutely.
I was a little nervous.
No, I couldn't tell. You're professional. I think
know.
nerves talk about that.
Yeah.
Nerves. I feel like that's what separates champions from, I don't want to use the word losers, but non-champions. How you deal with the nerves. We all got the same feelings. We all get scared. We all get nervous. We all feel these things. I just feel like it's all how you deal with it. So, what are some things you do to shake fear or the nerves of, climbing that mountain?
Yeah, climbing that mountain for real, because
Sure.
I think some performers, they are less nervous than others naturally, and some are just beyond nervous, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, I was a beyond nervous person for a very long time.
Yeah.
I was inside shy. I had to pull it out of me. I'm like, I'm great, I'm phenomenal, I got to do this. So really, rehearsal is key. Because
Yeah.
when you do anything repetitively, obviously you become more second nature to it. So that's a plus to do.
Yeah.
And then, just having that confidence at some point, you're like, I really am that person.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
people like you or don't, you're like, listen, I'm gonna come out here and bam.
That's it.
I've seen singers sing that can't sing, but I couldn't care that they couldn't
They
sing
sell
because
it.
they was just in they
believe.
sway,
Yeah, they believe.
So I'm a very nervous person. I was, not anymore, obviously. I've done a lot of rehearsal and I've done a lot of seasoning myself. But for me, what helps me kind of get rid of that is I do compare myself to great people. I'd be like, well, Beyonce's nervous, Prince is nervous, Michael Jackson is nervous, but they still get on that stage. They're nervous in real life still. I know they are.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they've rehearsed a million times. And I just say, you have to do it. Either you have to do it or you have to go home.
Yeah. Wow. That's big.
And I pray.
That's bullshit. Yeah. That's the
I pray a lot.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
God, I know you're going to get me through it. And that's the key for me,
yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. I like that, man. Let's clap it up for it one time, man. We got to clap it up for it. Mental health. I like to ask women that question because you guys have, different things and hormones that you guys can't control.
True.
Y'all get that cycle, it's hard being a woman. Y'all have a lot of abilities. Y'all can carry life. There's nothing normal about having a living species inside of you. There's a lot of different things that will make the mind harder to conquer. So what are some things you do as a woman, as an honorable woman, an enlightened woman, and powerful woman for mental health?
Well, like I said, for me, one thing is prayer. Sometimes if I ever find myself I haven't prayed in a while, I don't even feel right. I just feel like I'm all over the place. And then I stop and just be like, and you don't have to know how to pray or be a saint or be a specific person to be like, okay, God, you know what? I need to get through these 100 pieces of paper. Can you just help me get through these papers today?
Yeah.
That's as simple as it could be.
That's it.
But so I keep myself grounded. I give myself space. Like I said, I don't bring a lot of people around me because I get uncomfortable when people aren't on the same wave that I'm on.
Yeah.
I don't even dig deep or think deep. It's just a natural thing. So if it's everyone comes over and it's a lot of commotion and this and that, I just don't. I just be like, okay, time to wrap it up. I just keep my peace.
Yeah, got to.
And I go to the sauna, I work out. That definitely releases major mental stress for me, or being frustrated, being tired, having any type of anxiety. It definitely helps for me. The sauna and the heat just brings me down.
What's your favorite body part to work out?
My abs, which I need more of.
Yeah.
And for the record, my body is natural because there's been a lot of speculation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, man, we don't like to speculate, man. We get right to it. We ask the question. That's not, nowadays, it's hard to tell. I mean, the doctors, they're doing a fabulous job. We don't know what's what out here.
I don't know.
Hey, man, say, man. But, do what you do, man. We're not judging nothing over here. Nothing's normal, Do what tickles your fancy. Outside of music, what are some things that you want to pursue? Are you into modeling, acting? Would you be interested in things of that nature?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I actually just got signed up this year for Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week for the first time. So I'm really excited. I'll be walking in Marcella J's line. She's a designer.
Okay.
Shout out to Marcella J.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to be performing at another event for Fashion Week. But yeah, I love to model and just be, confident and hosting, just kind of putting myself in all different places. I'm interested in getting into directing because I direct myself. But I know I could be a good director if I was, doing other people's projects to kind of help them in different directions.
Yeah.
I have a very creative mind, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. From what I'm learning. Where can they follow you at on social media? Where can they find your music? Give it to them. At what? Chez LadyRed.
At Chez LadyRed, which is ChezLadyRed, Chez LadyRed. That's on Instagram and all social media. Also, I have Cupid out, which is on all platforms. I'll be releasing my second record early March. And once you tune in with me, tap in with me, just rock with me. You'll be able to find me on all platforms. You won't be able to miss it.
Chez LadyRed, man. You got anything coming up? Anything we should know about? Any events? Any hostings? Where they gonna be seeing you at? It's cold out now, but it's about to get warm out, man. What's the plans you got for when it heat up?
You're gonna see me everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's too cold, too hot, I'm gonna be a little bit everywhere. You're gonna see me. I'm definitely doing my South by Southwest. I got like some really good people, pushing and backing me. So you'll catch me at some festivals, and like I said, you won't miss me. I'll be where anything is popping.
Yeah. Final words, anything you want to tell the people before we, wrap it up. Chez LadyRed, the floor is ours. Lay out the red carpet. There we go. Yeah.
I just want to first say thank you to everybody who supports me,
Sure.
all my fans, all my family, everybody. You guys have been pushing and rooting for me throughout, times of me being up and down, in and out of music, writing music, but I'm here to stay, and I'm not ever going anywhere. That time is now. I love all of my fans and all my fans to come and to be. Tap in with me, and let's lock in.
Now, fellas, I got y'all, man. I'm not going to let her slide out of here before I answer this. Are you single?
I am single.
Okay, see, I got y'all,
I have
man.
to be single. I'm very busy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's just something I do want to touch on. Being in a relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship? When's the last time you were in a relationship, Anna?
Maybe like a year ago.
Okay. Were you actively pursuing your music at that time?
Yes.
And how does that work, juggling that lifestyle? Because I mean, listen. It's rough because it's a lot of engagement with the opposite sex. I feel like you got to really be secure in your situation and really just give reassurance to your partner so that they feel safe. But sometimes that don't even work. So
You're
talk
so
about
right.
it. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's very rough. It's hard.
Yeah.
I obviously am into the entertainment business, and my friend, let's just say now, my friend, it was hard. They, like you said, I'm around a lot of men. I'm a very attractive person, and there's a lot of different things going on. And even if I'm reassuring, because I was the most reassuring woman on earth, it's just hard for some people to understand. So you either have to be a person in yourself who can deal with the fact that your woman is in the limelight and in the business and trust this woman and know this woman. And if you want a woman who's a good woman who's in it, then you really shouldn't have as much to worry about. But, I get it. As a man, it's still a concern in the back of your head. There's all this money. She floating around. Who's doing what? I'm not there tonight. I get it. And that's where the reassurance comes in. But it's a rough thing. It's rough for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it something that, do you think it's safe to say, you're going to ride the single wave out until you retire or until you drop your last album? Or
I hope not, no.
Yeah. Nah?
No, I'd hope to find a man in life who can be understanding to my lifestyle. I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah,
I also
I
think
agree.
a lot of the people who may have some disconnect with it, it's a long story. Everybody has their own past, things like that.
Do you think it's safer for entertainers to more so date in the entertaining pool, somebody who actually lives that lifestyle as well? Because at least for a man, you can start to feel inferior. Like, damn, my baby girl out here, she making moves. I'm at home, or I'm just getting off work. It can be very discouraging for a man. It's intimidating if you're not really confident in who you are. I think confidence is key when it comes to a situation like that. Yeah.
I think it's hard because the guy that I dated was in the industry.
Oh.
He wasn't even I have dated because I've been in the industry, and my ex before also didn't like it. No man likes it, right?
Nah.
But the guy who was really in the industry and very active, and he knows, the type of woman and person I am, it's still rough for him.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, really?
I think it's a natural thing. And I think I've never been in those shoes because everyone's different. Like, I wouldn't feel like, or I don't feel like, if my man was a top artist or a top producer, as long as my man was making me happy and I was in a full communication with him, then I would trust him until I had a reason not to. Now, if I was out here thotting and trotting and acting crazy, then he should be mad.
Yeah.
But if I'm being a good woman and I'm doing my job and you're included, you're involved, and you really know what's going on, and it's too much for you to handle, then maybe that person's just not for me, and that's why I'm single.
Yeah. Shout out to Chez.
I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, nah, don't rush it, man. Chez LadyRed, ladies and gentlemen, Nothing's Normal podcast, man. I have fun this episode.
Me too. It's so much fun.
This won't be our last time connecting. Like I said, we just met 2 weeks ago, and we're already getting right to it. We're getting the work done. She's working. Be on the lookout. This won't be the last time Nothing's Normal will be in cahoots with Chez LadyRed. I said that right?
You said that so right.
Yeah, Chez LadyRed, man. Signing out.